Good evening, guys. Guys, the Republic of China, People's Republic of China, it is trying to play with lives of millions of people for its own benefits. Let it be economic benefits, let it be in terms of land grab they want to do with their neighbors, or let it be for strategy. And they are using, even they are not even leaving water. They are trying to use water of 9 countries, the water of which goes to 9 countries for their own economic prosperity, for their own strategic benefit. And let me give you some data. In past few decades, China has constructed 87,000 dams in its rivers, and collectively these dams, they generate 352.26 gigawatt of power, and this the 352.26 gigawatt power is more than the combined hydropower which is being generated by the United States, Brazil and Canada all together. And with these dams, with these 87,000 dams, China has displaced around 23 million lives. About 23 million people have been displaced by the dams China has created. These people include people within China and also across the borders of China. We know that Tibet is in control of China, and the Tibetan plateau, it is very rich freshwater resource. Rather, it is the richest freshwater resource for Asia, and after damming most of its own rivers in mainland China, what we call as mainland China, now China is having eyes on Tibetan plateau rivers, and these rivers which originate from Tibet, they supply water to 9 countries excluding China. And this is the reason we call Tibet as the water tower of Asia, because do you know which all countries the waters from Tibet which flows, the river supplies countries like Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, India, Thailand, Burma, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan and Pakistan. So the Tibetan rivers, they are supplying 9 countries and plus China, that is 10 countries. But if you take out China, because anyway Tibet is in control of China, they call it its autonomous region, but it is not an autonomous region. They are having full control there. And Chinese hydropower companies right now, they are lobbying with their government to take the big contracts on Tibetan rivers for generation of electricity. And Tibet is geographically very unstable. And why it is geographically very unstable? Because it is at the sea level of 14,800 feet, and it's so it is if dams are made there, if the rivers are being dammed in Tibet, definitely the ecology will also be disturbed, the geology of the region will also be disturbed. And there are 6 main rivers on which China is having eyes. They want to dam 6 major rivers that include please pardon me if I am pronouncing wrong, because these are all Chinese words: Yangtze, Mekong, Salween, Yellow, Indus and Brahmaputra. And we know India gets its water from Brahmaputra as well as from India. And Chinese state, the state of China, they have made 2 5-year plans for damming its rivers. One was from 2011 to 2015, and the second plan was from 2016 to 2020. In the first 12th plan from 2011 to 2015, these people, they have dammed most of the rivers in the mainland China. Now in the second plan, or you can call it 13th plan, that is 2016 to 2020, they are eyeing on Tibetan plateau, and they are having an ambition that by the year end 2020 they will double their power production from Tibetan rivers. Because of coronavirus, it may be that the project may be delayed for 1 year or 2 years, not more than that, but they want to double the production capacity of electricity from these Tibetan rivers. Now coming to Brahmaputra, which is known as Yarlung Tsangpo in Tibet. It is a major international river and it supplies water not only to India, to Bangladesh even, and it's a long river. It stretches for 2,900 kilometers and it originates from a glacier close to Mount Kailash, which we also call it Kailash Mansarovar. And once it was used to be a free-flowing river, but now every section of Brahmaputra has been dammed by the state of China to produce hydroelectricity. In January 2013, when China approved 3 dam projects for Brahmaputra, they propagated a false scientific theory, so that the neighboring countries, especially Bangladesh and India, do not raise their voice and they do not raise their concern. They called it run-off river ROR hydroelectricity project, and it says that with the ROR project, the volume of water of the river is not affected. They say that we divert the river and collect its water, and once the hydroelectricity is being generated, we put back the water, flow the water back in the same river, so that the volume is not affected, the volume which India gets, the volume which Bangladesh receives. But this is also a false notion, because what happens, they divert the river first, then they collect a lot of volume of water and they release it when they require, when the industries or when the state of China requires production of electricity. So they release the water at once. So what it happens, it disturbs the ecology, it puts a lot of water in one go in the river, so it may lead to flooding in many areas, displacement of people in many areas, and the fish and other living sources which contribute to a large numbers of people's of livelihood. So it is also definitely affected. The livelihood of people is being affected. Even the minerals which form the sedimentation due to in the rainy season, it is also affected, because they have diverted the river, they have stored the water for a long time and they release it in one go. So it washes away everything and disturbs the whole ecology of the river. And now they are working on 3 hydropower dams in the middle reaches of Brahmaputra. See, let it be any river, let it be Ganga, let it be Nile, let it be Brahmaputra, the middle edges is very important, and now they are planning to dam the middle edges by 3 dams, and they call it as Daegu Dam, Jizu Dam and Jiacha Dam. These all are Chinese words, so forgive me if I am pronouncing them wrong. And collectively they will produce, the Daegu Dam will produce 660 megawatt of electricity, Jizu will produce 560, and the third one, the Jigsa Dam, will produce 320 megawatt of electricity. And all these dams will be located in very proximity to of just a few kilometers distance to each other. So you can understand how much the ecology will be disturbed by 3 dams in close proximity to each other, that too in the middle reach of the river. And China has actually disturbed the whole ecology of Brahmaputra. And time to time, what they do with Bangladesh and India, they sign the memorandum of understanding and they talk about the expert level mechanism, but they follow no transparency. And I am sure not only transparency is not being followed with India and Bangladesh, even the people of Tibet do not know what they are going to do with their rivers, on which Tibet have right. And moreover, forget farming, forget fisheries, look at the strategic advantage which China is trying to gain by damming Brahmaputra. In time of a crisis, in time of a conflict, they have mechanism, and they will be having means to control the water. They may flood the water, they may stop the water. So this is what China is working upon, and it is not just related to India and Bangladesh. Other countries are also affected. This was this immediate neighborhood. Now go south of China and let's talk about Mekong River. See, Mekong River, you can say, for Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos and Thailand, it is as important as Nile is for Africa. It is their lifeline. And in 2000, China started working to dam Mekong River, and for that Mekong River Commission was made, which included Laos, Thailand, Cambodia and Vietnam. And the commission said that these 4 countries will be benefited with $30 billion of revenue because of these dams which China is planning on Mekong River. But when a reassessment was done by the same commission, it came out in the light that they are not gaining $30 billion, but these countries collectively, 4 countries, are losing $7 billion because of the project of China. But China is not, China is keeping away herself from the commission's report and not even attending the commission. And the projects are going on, and you can ask that why the governments are lowing. Because most of these governments are puppet governments of China. You look at Laos, the government of Laos, there are only very few handful of governments, communist governments are left, in which Laos is also there. Look at Cambodia, the person who is ruling Cambodia, he is one of the longest serving ruler, and he is not having any will to propagate democracy. So definitely he is sitting on the lap of China so that he can flourish and he can continue with the type of rule he is having. Laos is one of the most corrupt country in the world. It is widely known as that transparency and Laos do not go hand in hand. But people are not responsible. See, people in these countries do not have any voice. What voice they have in front of the mighty China? And do you know, in Cambodia, once dammed, when the dams are being completed, the entire livelihood of the people will be affected, because 97% minerals which the paddy fields of Vietnam, very most fertile paddy fields in world when it comes to Vietnam and Thailand, they are having the most fertile paddy fields, and 97% minerals which they are receiving is from the Mekong River. If you look at Cambodia, 80% of its population depends on protein source which is directly related to Mekong River. Their fisheries are directly related to Mekong River, and the viability of the project is also not there. See, Thailand, they did some type of MOU they signed with Cambodia, saying that, okay, with Laos, that once electricity is being produced, Thailand will be purchasing $2.3 billion worth of electricity from poor country called Laos. But now the Thai authorities are saying that we are going to rethink, but still the project is continuing, and the project is continuing in the same way as the CPEC is continuing, as the BRI Belt and Road Initiative is continuing, where the local people don't get any employment. All the engineers, from chief engineer to a ground level worker to a laborer, all are Chinese. So China is not concerned about the local economies, and I do not blame common man of any country, even in China. The common man do not have any right. The state of China, the Communist Party of China, it is the driving force in the entire region. Except for India, it is trying to dictate everybody. So it's our duty to make the world understand what's going on and how China is playing with lives of around 29 million people which have been displaced, and millions of people will be affected in 9 countries. Let it be Laos, let it be Vietnam, let it be India, let it be Bangladesh, let it be Bhutan, let it be Pakistan, all these countries, they will be affected by what the damming of rivers is being done by China, and it needs to be stopped. World has to look at China, that what Chinese government is doing. Our government will do and is doing what has to be done. But as a human being, as a citizen of the country, as an educated citizen, it's our job to propagate to the world, to let the world know about data. You come with data, circulate the data, even share this video. I spent whole night researching on this topic, that how many people will be affected by what China is doing on Yellow River, on Brahmaputra River, on Mekong River. China is trying to play with thousands, millions of lives. So kindly share the video, kindly expose China, because the way China is moving ahead, it's not beneficial for humanity. It is rather hammering humanity. I am not saying a word against Chinese people, but I am saying this regarding the Communist Party of China and government of China. They need to be exposed. People must know that what China is doing. Let it be Wuhan. Why they are not allowing the agencies of different countries to research on the virus? The virus they have spread it. The virus which has came from Wuhan, from China, and it has put the whole world in a lockdown. They are not allowing. What they are doing with waters, what they are doing in Sikkim, why they want to grab other people's land. Fortunately, we are a big power. We are replying China, but other countries can't. You and me, we are so free. Fortunately, we are born in India, we are citizens of India, that we can speak against China. Other people can't. Do you feel that people from Vietnam can say about China? People from Laos can speak against China? No, they can't. But you and me can. It's our duty to expose China, which is beneficial. Exposing China is beneficial for humanity. Please expose. Millions of people will die because what they are doing in the world. Already millions of people have been affected by the coronavirus. Thousands are dying daily. What China wants? Let's expose China. Let's expose China. Please share this video also. Please retweet the link. Let these people be exposed what they are doing. What is their cynical thinking and planning, which will affect the humanity.